Okay, let's see how this time is going to work. Thanks for everyone for sticking with me and for coming back to the stream. It's a bit nerve-wracking to stream like this when the quality is not ideal. I don't know why things are not working too well, but for now I see you guys. You are back here. I see that um, the stream is working for now at least. So hopefully things will be fine. I will wait a little bit until we have more people in the chat. Yeah, I lowered the quality a bit, so hopefully now it won't drop any frames. It won't buffer as much. Really hope so, guys, because I really want to make these live streams a bit more regular so I can talk to you, get to know you a bit better, answer your questions, and just see how things are going to go with this whole coronavirus situation, because nobody likes being stuck at home, I'm sure. And yeah, all the people staying at home using all the broadband, that's true. Normally I didn't have any problems with my connection until I started streaming, but of course it's how it goes when you want to do something. Hello Ian, nice to see you. Thanks for tuning in, and to everyone else in the stream, welcome once again. This is my second attempt, or should I say third attempt even, to live stream today. But cut me some slack, please, because it will take a bit of time until I find the perfect setup to stream. But as soon as I do, I will stream a lot more regularly. I have some plans for streaming in the future that will involve editing, show you how I edit my footage from start to finish, maybe if you guys are interested in that. Then I plan to, today I will be editing some photos in Lightroom. That's coming in a few minutes. If you stick around, you will see that. I'm also planning to show you guys how I practice in my FPV simulator, maybe play a few tracks on liftoff and use your guys' input to do stuff and just chill with you. That's some of the plans that I have. Of course, I have a lot more planned, but it all this depends on the situation, how things are going to go. If you're just tuning in, let me just thank you once again for staying here and tuning in for my stream. Like I mentioned already, I have the Phantom 4 Pro right here. It was sent to me by DJI for review, and I have a little bit more than 2 weeks with it from today. So I had it for 2 weeks already, and I have two more. I'm currently working on my full review of this drone. I am really excited to have a Phantom once again, even if it's just for a month. It's plenty of time to test it as much as I want. Of course, it's not ideal in the current situation, but things will be fine, I'm sure. One thing that I wanted to share with you guys, and I'll paste the link right here in the chat, so you can see. We have to interrupt for a second. I have a work meeting in 5 minutes. Just stopped by to get you a cup of coffee. Thank you so much, Aldrin from Flight Path, for the $5 for the coffee. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And for everyone watching, I'm sure you guys are familiar with Aldrin from Flight Path. He is the man when it comes to drone reviews. So thank you so much for stopping by. Enjoy your work meeting, and thank you once again for the donation. But like I was saying, I came across this contest on Instagram, which was really interesting in my opinion. Let me just find the link very quickly so I can show it to you guys. It was about editing photos, and it was by San Francisco shooters, and they shared a few photos that they took in raw format, so everyone who wants can download these photos and edit them, and that's exactly what I did. I picked a few of them, I edited them, and I posted them on my Instagram stories. Many of you seem to really enjoy those edits, so today I will be editing a few of these photos, let you know how I do them, how I edit in Lightroom. It will be very basic, nothing serious. And I'll show you just the little tweaks that you can do to make your photos look very, very good. And let me just paste the link, so if you want to follow along, you can download these photos. The link is now in the chat, so make sure you download these photos if you want to edit them yourself. and you can use any program you want. As long as you can load these raw files, you will be able to edit them. My software of choice is Lightroom, so that's something that I will be using, but you can also use Photoshop, or you can edit straight on your phone if you want to. Yeah, let me just see how things are going to work now that I open Lightroom. Let me know if you guys see my Lightroom window, or you don't. Actually, wait, you don't see everything. You just see a couple of things. Shit, it will take a bit of time. It's my like I said, first time setting these things up, so please give me a few minutes to set everything up, and I'll make sure that everything is working fine. Let me just set these windows up very quickly so you can see what I'm doing actually. For some reason it doesn't give you the option to just stream your window, your Lightroom window, so I'm not sure why that is. You have so many different windows, and yeah, it will take a bit of time to really set up everything the way I want it to look, so please give me a few seconds. No, that's not what I wanted to do. And just wanted to let you know that I already set this up, so I'm not sure why I need to do it once again, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. It will be fine in just a few seconds. Actually, let me just put this on top. Hopefully things are coming together. Where should I put myself? Let me just put myself right here. I'm not sure if you want to see my face while I'm editing, but it is what it is. So okay, I hope you guys can see everything that I'm doing right now. Can you please let me know if you do, and we can start with those edits very quickly. No, the software is just one window, but for streaming, for some reason, it just cuts it into many different windows. I'm not sure why that is, but it's just really annoying, but hopefully you guys can see. All right, so this is the base photo that we are starting with, and as you can see, it's really dark. So you see this section. Okay, you see everything, right? Okay. So this is the basic photo. It's very underexposed, but that's just the perfect way to keep all the details in the sky, for example. So it's kind of like it's exposed for the sky. So as soon as I drop a little preset, let me just see which one to use. I have my own presets which I'm working on, and that I'm excited to share with you guys, but let me just show you how quickly I will make this image pop. Or should I actually, no, I should start from scratch. Okay, no presets, no cheating. So okay, let me just bring the exposure up a little bit, drop the highlights. So as you can see, the sky will be will show a lot more details now that we drop the highlights. We don't want to go completely, maybe -90, and then up the shadows. This is the key part, because check it out. Check out this difference. It's just, yeah, as soon as you lift the shadows, you see so much more detail. Then what we can do, of course, we will tweak things a lot more, but I'll just add some contrast. Lower the blacks a little bit. Add some clarity. And already we have a massive difference before and after, you see? But something which I love doing is add a little bit of temperature here. So maybe I will add this gradient here for some yellow temperature. Now it's too cold. I will change that to just a bit more warm tones here coming from the top. And as you can see, if I move that it goes further down, but I just want it in the upper section of this photo. And then we'll get back to it later. I will use the dehaze slider just a little bit so I can bring up the light a bit more into the photo. And already we have so much more detail in this shot, and it's looking a lot better now. I'll add some vibrance, take away some saturation, because otherwise it's just too fake. I don't like this look. Every time I add some vibrance, I always take away some of the saturation just so it balances things out. Then we will lower a little bit the highlights in this tone curve here. Just a little bit more in the light section. Then what we can do, just play with the sliders, see what works, take a look at the histogram at the same time. And then we can play a bit with the HSL tab, which is arguably the best thing ever invented in this software. So let's see. I'm going to change the hue of the orange. Guys, I don't see any comments, so I'm not sure, is everything good? Hopefully the stream is still fine. I see that we have people watching, but I just want to make sure that everything is fine and you're watching. Okay, I see some comments once again. All right. So I will play with the luminance. Okay. All right. The luminance, the saturation, and mostly the saturation of these colors. I want to saturate the yellow a little bit and use kind of like teal and orange color scheme into this photo. So I didn't really realize how difficult it is to talk and edit at the same time. Normally I'm just focused at the edit and on the edit, and I don't really think about what I'm doing that much. So when I have to explain it, it's a bit more difficult. So maybe it's time for me to just do what I do and you guys can see what I'm doing. Maybe that will be a bit easier. But basically what I like doing is I always change the hue of the blue a little bit. So it's not like, check this out, it's a bit more purple. I always change it to something a bit more like aqua, and I desaturate the color. So it's, you know, kind of more, it gives that teal and orange look to the photo. Of course, I forgot the main thing, which is to crop for Instagram. And we would like to keep the person in the middle. So let's do that. I always like to point the attention to the middle of the photo, and there are so many ways to do that, but you can make a circle around your object of the one that you want to focus on. And let me just get everything to 0, and then you can set your exposure to a lower value. So now everything besides this circle will be with lower exposure. Here it doesn't work too well, so let me just reset that, and we can add some vignetting. That's something that I like doing a lot in my photos, and we have quite a big difference in the photo already. Yeah, let me just reset everything, because I just want to show you how much quicker everything is with some of the LUTs that I have developed. For example, I think this one is very close to what I had edited before. And for this, we are going to up the exposure a little bit, lower the highlights, up the shadows a little bit more. Everything says, love from Croatia. Mike, your channel is awesome. Thank you so much for the donation, man. It really means a lot. Thank you for the kind words, and of course thank you for watching. It's the reason why I do this, so thank you, really appreciate that. So like I said, this is the LUT that I am working on, and I'm planning to release it soon. but for this I still need to work on it a bit more so it fits in more photos. But as you can see, we have a very similar result. It's a bit dark, so I'm going to work on that so we can actually see more details in the photo. Some people sell these LUT packs. Are they really sellable? Of course they are. Many people are making tons of money with selling their own LUTs, and honestly, I think it's a good strategy to get some money back from your work. And if you're good at what you're doing, I think it's a nice thing to do. I'm planning to do the same, to be honest. It's a nice way to monetize your content and your skills. And that's pretty much it. This is the first photo by using my. Also, you saw how I did it manually without any LUTs. So now I want to show you this photo because it's really cool. And once again, you can download all of these photos. I posted the link in the chat. So if you want to see your own way of editing, you can do that. You can just download these photos and see how awesome this photo is. Just check it out. As soon as I bring more exposure into this photo, you will see it's just so clean. I love it. I just love it. I'm going to use a LUT, not a LUT, a preset on this photo, and I think it was my 5, or was it the 5? You already know I have a huge, I'm a huge fan of the teal and orange look, so check this out. Let me bring up the exposure. The great thing about having RAW photos is the fact that you can really up your exposure without really crashing the photo and all the details. And already we have, of course, quite a massive difference. Showing these bluer tones here instead of the the darker orange tones here in the buildings, it looks very cinematic, I would say, and it has this huge contrast between this how do you call it, this type of vehicle. I'm not sure how it's called, this tram. Yeah, it's tram, of course, and everything around it. So one thing I noticed is that this section right here is too dark. So what we can do is, I'm actually not going to crop this for Instagram. I like showing all of the things in the photo. No really point of cropping it for Instagram, as I don't plan to post it anywhere since it's not my photo. But I am going to use the gradient tool, and for this I am going to bring a little bit of exposure coming from the side, so I can bring a little bit more life to the photo from this left section. And for some reason it applies some saturation and removes some sharpness when I do these things, so it's really annoying. But anyway, now you can see that we already have a lot more detail here in the left section of the photo. And if you want to, you can just bring the whole exposure up a little bit and focus your attention on the tram itself by simply decreasing the exposure around the tram. So we can just lower the exposure in this section a little bit, not too much. And now here is the finished result. So before, after. Again, before, after. I really like how easy it is to edit RAW photos as long as you have shot them in with the right settings, and as long as things are, well lit. Because if you are exposing for the tram, for example, the sky would be too blown out. Here, the photographer has exposed the photo for the sky. Check out how well lit the sky is. And the tram, even though it's dark, it's recoverable. So it's just great to bring back so much detail in the photo. Okay, so that's the second photo. Like you see, those presets really help you out to bring some life into the photo, and hopefully I will have to perfect them a bit more before I release them, but hopefully you guys will love using them even for regular shots, also for drone shots. Of course, they will be mostly for drone shots, but I'm using them on everything that I do. I use them for my thumbnails, I use them for my regular photos, which I do that are not drone related. So that should be interesting. So let's see this next photo. Again, we have a very underexposed photo of the San Francisco Bridge. It's really, really beautiful. I love this photo, but the first thing I notice is that the bridge is a bit tilted. So what we can do is to just correct the angle a little bit, and I think this would be fine. Let's see. This looks a lot better now compared to before. So now it's time to see which preset should be okay for this photo. I think this one, but it has too much of too much vignetting, so let me remove that real quick. It already has some vignetting from the photo itself, so no need to add more to it. Now let's just bring more exposure into the photo, lower the highlights, extend the shadows all the way up, maybe play with the tint a bit because I really like this purple tone here in the sky, and by simply adjusting the tint slider a little bit, we already introduce a lot more purple in the sky. I really like this little fact. Okay, now I want to make the bridge a little bit lighter, so I will use the brush tool and to paint some exposure on the bridge, just a little bit. So again, I will need to reset all the values here. For some reason they are so annoying, but I'll just add a little bit of exposure like so. Now the bridge is a bit lighter and it looks a lot better, and from here we can start tweaking some more stuff. Let's see, take away some contrast. We don't need so much contrast. I'll add a little bit exposure once again, like so. Highlights, will drop them a bit and increase the darks again just a little bit. Add some vibrance so the sky is even more purple, and let's play with, I want to change the, actually I like the yellow tones of these flowers, but yeah, maybe a bit more orange, and like so. Yeah, bring in some luminance, and there we go. It's now we can bring back some vignetting if we want to, just a little bit in the corners, and we have a finished result. So here is the before, here is the after. Personally, I love the final result. I think it looks very good, and this subtle purple tone in the sky just makes all the difference in my opinion, together with the skyline here in the background. It's just very, very nice. And I have one final photo before we get back to regular stuff, and this is the bridge again, once again. So yeah, this is the bridge itself. So the first thing I will do is crop this photo for Instagram, as it's vertical anyway. Then I will try to make the bridge completely aligned with the photo. I think that's it. There we go. Yeah, like so. And now let's see which preset would work well. I think this one was the one that I wanted to use, and I used for my Instagram story, which I posted yesterday with this photo. And I really love this moody look of the bridge. The before is also great, but it lacks a little bit of contrast and some saturation, and with this it's just really good. The red is too saturated, so of course we'll have to work on that. Keep in mind, no preset is perfect. You will always have to tweak it depending on the photo that you have selected, but it doesn't really involve that much work. I'll just remove some of the clarity because it's too much, and lower the highlights a little bit more and increase the shadows. Maybe generally increase the exposure a little bit as well. And check this out, we already have a result which looks fantastic in my opinion. So before, after. It took me no more than 30 seconds to edit this photo with the preset. And if you notice my values here, which I've selected, you will pretty much have the same result if you want to achieve the same look. So feel free to pause the video after and copy these same settings if you want to see how my presets work. But you will have the chance to check out these presets after some time. When they're ready, I will release them, and we'll definitely make a video and let you know about these presets in more detail. Okay, so these are the photos which I have selected. Of course, there are a lot more photos that you can download from the link which I showed you, and these are only photos from San Francisco. They also uploaded some photos from different cities across the world, from many other countries and places. So I just chose San Francisco because it always looks very interesting, with the bridge, with the tram, with the mountain here. I just love the look of these photos. Even without any editing on them, they just look great in my opinion. So yeah, these are just some things which I enjoy doing in my free time. I just randomly came across this contest on Instagram, and I decided to just download these photos, check them out, see what I can do, and what can I come up with, and also test my presets, because these presets are something that I'm trying to test on many different photos. So they work on drone photos, they work on product photos, on thumbnails, all sorts of different portrait photos or whatever, and also, as you can see here, in these situations as well. So like I said, these presets will be coming soon to my website, or also here on YouTube. I will let you know when they are live and ready to be downloaded. But for now, let's get back to answering some questions, and maybe you guys will have more of those now that we are done with Lightroom. So I'm back here. Just me now, no more Lightroom, and let me just close Lightroom because it seems like my computer is really struggling with keeping everything running. But for now, I'm actually okay with how the stream is going. Very happy to see that the stream is now working well, with no more buffering and stuff that is not working well. All right, I hope so at least. Can you just confirm very quickly that everything is smooth and it's you're seeing me, hearing me well, and things are not buffering or disconnecting? And yeah, Diego Silva says, don't you like using split toning in Lightroom? I do. I actually love using it, but I do like using it when I have more time to edit now, especially when I'm streaming. I prefer to do things a bit quicker, so I know people are not too crazy about spending 1 hour with me on Lightroom, so I prefer to do quicker edits. Of course, when I edit my own photos, which I post on Instagram, I do spend a lot more time tweaking stuff and using all sorts of different settings in Lightroom. A lot more gradient tool, a lot more brush tool, like you are saying, split toning as well. But I just wanted to keep it a bit short now for this small section of editing photos in Lightroom. What is the difference between LUT packs and presets? LUTs are basically the same thing as presets, but it's just applied to video. Presets are filters pretty much for photos, so it's not really a huge difference. Okay, all smooth, great connection. Okay, very glad to see and to hear, because I was struggling at the beginning. I was, it's my first time streaming with my camera, and I was thinking, well, if it's not working, then that would be disaster, because I spent a lot of money on this hardware that allows you to stream from your camera, and if you can't use it, then it's a bit pointless, isn't it? So now when things are back to normal, I'm glad to hear that. Now it's beer time. Yeah, tell me about it. I agree completely. After after every little edit that I do, I feel like I have the need to reward myself with something, and what can I reward myself with better than a beer? So yeah, it will be beer o'clock in a few minutes. When the stream ends, I will go and grab a beer or two. But yeah. Now that we finished with the Lightroom stuff, guys, I want to hear if you have any editing related questions, anything that you guys want to see me do on this channel. Maybe I can do a tutorial on something that you want to have more in-depth information about. If you need any sort of help about how to edit your drone photos, for example, or different settings or something like that, feel free to let me know, because I really want to make the content that you guys want to see. Of course, it's not all about the content that I have planned. It's also all about the content that you guys want to see on this channel, because you are the ones that are actually watching the videos. So I hope that this corona stuff is over soon, so we can all fly outside together all normally and not worry. Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like pretty much anyone in this world is feeling the same way. But as soon as it's over, I'm sure all of us will appreciate the way that we are able to live in freedom when we finally have the chance to do so. Drone photos and video edit. Yeah, I've done some of these types of videos before, but of course now I have a little bit more knowledge in this area, so I might be able to redo some of these videos and maybe give you more recent information with all the new stuff that I have learned along the way. Maybe that would be something interesting for you to see, so we might do that. I have another idea. I'm not sure if you guys would be up for that, but I was thinking the same way as I found these photos that I showed you here in Lightroom, maybe I can edit some of your photos that you have. Maybe if you send me some of your best photos that you have taken from your drone, I can make a video how I edit them and let you know how I would edit them, and then maybe compare my results with your results. I think that would be an interesting topic for a video, so if you're interested in that, we can definitely make it happen. I think it's an interesting idea. Have you tried to export your edit in Lightroom, Photoshop, and apply it to Adobe Premiere? Yeah, I've tried something similar, but not in Premiere. I've tried it in Final Cut Pro 10, and it works, but it's just very different. My edits for photos and for videos are very different. Of course, I'm putting a lot more effort into editing my photos, because they allow me for a lot more tweaking in terms of the settings, and there are so many things that I can do to a photo, and honestly I am not on that level yet when it comes to video editing and LUTs and stuff. So yeah, I think video editing and photo editing for me are two very separate things, and I like to I recently started to try to make my videos look a bit more natural when it comes to skin tones and stuff like that, and my photos are my way of expressing my crazy side, if I can say that. I like to push a lot of my photos and make them a lot more contrasty and punchy and vibrant and saturated. and when it comes to video, I don't like that. So my photos and my videos are very different from each other. So that's why it's a good idea to follow me on Instagram if you want to see, you know, the way I edit my photos, and then you can compare the way I edit my videos, because even this video right here that you're watching, it has a lot applied to it. So it feels, hopefully it feels a bit more cinematic. It's not too natural, but it also, I don't want to make myself look too orange or anything. I want to keep it more natural, but add a little bit of cinematic feel to it, if I can say that. Which picture profile do you use in drone videos? I always use D-Log M on my Mavic 2 Pro, and then I color grade afterwards, of course. For the Phantom 4 Pro, I use Cinelog D, because otherwise the log profile on the Phantom 4 Pro uses a minimum ISO of 800, if I'm not mistaken, or 400. And since I don't have any ND filters, that's just not an option for me to use this color profile. But yeah, Cinelog D, and I found that it's great on the Phantom. It gives you a lot, still a lot of ways to color grade afterwards. That's a cool idea. Okay, great that you guys are on board for that. But yeah, and for this to happen, we'll need a lot of different photos, and only your best photos. I don't, of course, want to have 100 photos to choose from, and if none of them are really that good for a video, it wouldn't really work. So we can do that. I think I can make it happen and give you guys more information about this whole contest. Not contest. It's not a contest. It's just a nice thing to do in my free time. So I will give you more information. I'll try to figure out some rules, or at least some type of regulation, and then give you my email and let you send me all of your photos that you want. What is the perfect photo? That's an interesting question. I think the perfect photo does not exist, because the perfect photo to me could be really bad to you, or vice versa. And everyone, at least when it comes to photography, videography, it's very subjective. Nobody thinks the same way as the next person, and yeah, the perfect photo is just a mirage. I think it's something that we aspire to create, but we will never be able to create, because yeah, like I said, what I believe could be the perfect photo will be something that you guys will not like so much, or at least some of you, and yeah, it in that regard, it's not perfect anymore, is it? By the way, thanks a lot for all the drone tips. I've booked so many weddings this year after starting seeing your tips how to take pictures with drone. I recently bought a Mavic 2 Pro. Cheers from Brazil. Wow, that's so nice to hear. I mean, every single time when someone just tells me that I managed to help him with the content that I've made, I feel so good, because honestly, that's the whole reason why I make those videos. It's not because I'm chasing views or chasing money on YouTube. It's to share, because I'm one of those people who really likes to share. Of course, not everything, but when it comes to art or photography or videography, which to me is art, I love sharing that. So hopefully you guys, more of you guys would feel the same way, and will appreciate the content. But it feels great, Diego. Thank you so much for letting me know that I actually managed to help you in some sort. Um, how to use a camera. Greetings from Somalia. Well, just turn it on and start shooting. That's the way to use it. If you want to learn how to use it, then it's a totally different thing. But the best thing to do with a camera is just use it and see what you can come up with. That's the best thing when it comes to creative stuff like photography, videography. It's all subjective, like I said just a few minutes ago. So the way you use your camera could be very different from the way I use my camera, and you can still achieve great results. So even though I might give you a certain tip on how to use your camera, it might not work for you. You might have a different idea in your head. And that's the great thing about creative jobs like photography, videography, and stuff like that. It's how you see stuff. The option 1080p 120 frames for Phantom 4 is zoomed. Do you know why? Not really sure, but honestly, I wouldn't advise you to use 1080p 120 frames per second, because the quality that you will be getting from this camera, even if it's a Phantom, it's a good camera, but the quality will be just bad. Normally, I wouldn't advise you to use anything more than 60 frames per second for slowing down your footage from a drone. If you're using a regular mirrorless camera or DSLR, then of course, but these sensors on the drones are not made for using slow-mo. And if you wonder why I never use slow motion in my videos, that's because it's just bad. Every time you get the footage, you review your footage after you have taken it in slow motion, it's really bad, and I don't like it. So I wouldn't advise you to slow down your footage unless you absolutely have to. But yeah, try to use 60 frames per second in 2.7K if you have that option. I think you do. Okay, Jermaine says you gotta go, getting off work now. I'm going to grade some pictures now. Thank you for the stream. See you next time. Thank you for tuning in. And I really appreciate you being here, and I'm glad you're going to grade some pictures now. Hopefully that was a bit, pushing you towards that idea of grading some pictures. So yeah, thanks for tuning in once again. And how warm is here in Bulgaria? Well, I think it's about 15 degrees today, Celsius. So it's pretty warm. It feels like spring already. And yeah, it's starting to get warmer and warmer. Last week we had a really terrible weather, but now it's kind of getting better, and I'm really looking forward to warmer days. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see when we'll have to the chance to actually go outside. Because for now, I only go outside to walk my dog and get some groceries, which is really not ideal, but yeah. The best camera, how much? Really difficult to say. There are all sorts of different cameras that can work well. Even shooting with a GoPro can be the best camera for you. So, it really depends what you need your camera for. I am using a Sony a7 III. I saw someone ask me before. So this camera, the one I'm shooting on right now for this stream, is the Sony a7 III. I'm really in love with this camera. It gives you so much freedom for your shots, and it's just amazing quality. The sensor is great. The lenses which I have are the Tamron 17 to 28 millimeters and the 28 to 75 millimeters, both Tamron, both f2.8. And they're both great. So I have a very good range between 16 and 17. I keep mistaking 16 and 17. 17 millimeters and 75 millimeters. So those two lenses are just perfect for what I do. Have you looked into the DJI Osmo Pocket? Of course, I had it on my channel for a very long time. I made a lot of videos with it, so feel free to browse my channel. You will see them all. Eventually, I sold it because I wasn't using it enough. But yeah, the Osmo Pocket was great. For like family vacations, for small trips, maybe occasional vlogs here and there. The Osmo Pocket was perfect. So yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. So yeah, feel free to check out my videos which I made with the Osmo Pocket. 11 degrees Celsius here, Finland. Next week winter might be back. Yeah, you never really know, especially in Scandinavia when winter is coming back, right? I had some friends from Denmark, and they told me there was snow in May one year. So you never really know. So crazy stuff in Finland. But yeah, Finland is great, man. Just really great. All right, guys. I think like we talked about everything that I wanted to talk about in today's video. with all the issues with the stream, with the problems with the buffering and stuff, and also with the windows in Lightroom, I feel like we managed to actually do the things which I wanted to do. So I'm glad things were not a complete disaster, at least for my first ever stream with this setup. So let me know if you guys want to see me do more of these streams. I am planning to maybe, if you guys want to, maybe do them once a week now that we have this corona situation. Maybe I can and think about different ways of live streaming, because I just don't feel like, you know, not every time it's a good idea to just live stream and talk to the camera like this. I want to do something while I'm live streaming. So like I said, I might use my simulator, share my experience with the simulator, play on the simulator, and live stream that. Maybe I can edit some videos while live streaming. Maybe I can edit some of your footage while live streaming, or your photos as well. So yeah, I'm definitely open to your suggestions, as well, as I'm just one person and you guys are so many, the ones that are watching and are supporting the channel. So I'm very open to suggestions. The content that you want to see is the content that I will make. So which Twitch or which? If the question is which FPV simulator, I would probably stream Liftoff or Velocidrone or DCL. I have those three, but personally I think the one that would work the best for a live stream could be Liftoff. It's also the one that runs the best on my Mac, so it might be the easiest one to stream with. Twitch. Oh, okay. I might. I have an account on Twitch. I have never live streamed there, but I don't really know if people would watch that. To be honest, on Twitch, who would watch me use an FPV simulator on Twitch? I don't know. I don't know. It could be an idea, but I don't know. No. Yeah, people are not really agreeing with that, I think, because I want to use my subscribers, and you know, not everyone would go to Twitch, and at least here on YouTube more people can get a pop-up or a notification that I'm streaming, so more people can tune in. How are you liking DCL? I think it's great. Yeah, I think so too. It was a lot of fun. I'm not sure if you have seen my video which I made about the game, and yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot. It feels a bit more like a game, but I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's very competitive. I like the fact that you can compete with lots of other people, and you have the chance to try to improve your times. You can see so much more stuff that will make you motivated and try to improve your times and get better at this, because if you're just playing by yourself, you're never going to be as motivated as you are when you're competing with other people. Yeah, it's a way to see if I like streaming playing stuff. I think I will. I've tried that on Instagram. I live streamed once from for my Instagram followers playing Liftoff, and it was fun. It was definitely fun, but I was live streaming with my phone. The quality was, of course, not ideal, and I don't know, but yeah, it's a good idea to spice things up, see what works, see what doesn't work, and yeah, more content for you guys. As long as you are happy, then things will be going forward. Okay, I think how much time are we streaming? 50 minutes. Okay, we are doing well. I was thinking about streaming for about an hour, so I think we are coming up to this amount of time. Ian says, cheers Mike, gotta head off now, finalizing a video to upload. Stay safe, have fun. Thank you, Ian. Have fun with the video, and thanks for tuning in for so long. You've been for almost the whole stream, I believe. So thanks again, and good luck with the video, and stay safe as well. All the best to you. And to the rest of you guys, I want to say thank you for tuning in for this experimental stream. It's been interesting to say the least, but it's been a lot of fun. And I'm also thinking about switching up my time to upload and to live stream. As you saw, I upload all of my videos at 6 p.m. local time, which is it's 5:15 right now. So in 45 minutes is when I usually would start live streaming. But today I started at 4 p.m. local time. So I started a bit earlier, and I'm thinking because more people are staying at home, it doesn't really matter how early or how late you start streaming, because pretty much everyone is watching YouTube anyway. So I'm thinking about switching things up a bit and try to live stream or upload my videos at a different time, just to see how things are going to go. My friend Ivan says also gotta go walk the doggy. Yeah, yeah, you have a dog. I didn't know that, but that's a great thing to do, especially in good weather. So thank you so much for tuning in. Много благодаря, че се включва в лайвстрима. And to the rest of you guys, I think that's it for today. I think that will be it for today's live stream. So thank you so much for tuning in, for asking your questions, for sticking with me while I was editing my photos in Lightroom, and for being a good company. So thank you so much once again. I'll see you soon. Don't forget to let me know if you have any ideas about future content when it comes to live streaming, because I will be doing that a lot more, like I said, from now on. And yeah, with that being said, all the best to you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Catch you soon. Bye bye.